The Batman had a crazy plot twist that I think gets overlooked and that also mirrors the comics really well. Now, throughout the movie, there are a few notable plot twists, such as Falcone killing a reporter for Thomas Wayne and also being the snitch of the city. However, by far, the craziest plot twist that I think still gets overlooked is Riddler knowing that Batman is Bruce Wayne. So the first scene of the movie, we have Riddler looking through a pair of binoculars to essentially, wait for the right time to kill the mayor. When Batman arrives to the crime scene and sees the tool, he doesn't think anything of it because this is a second year Batman. He's not, the world's greatest detective yet. He even has Alfred helping him on the case as well. One of the biggest moments in the movie was the interrogation scene, and during that scene, we have Riddler chanting Bruce Wayne's name over and over again. And as he's yelling his name so many times, you can see Batman get anxious and you can see him get, a little scared that, does this guy know my secret? Riddler eventually plays this off and says that, he already took care of Bruce Wayne, he killed him. But here's how he knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Later in the third act, while Batman and Officer Martinez are looking for the rest of Riddler's plan, Batman holds up the first murder weapon that he used. Martinez tells Batman that that's a carpenter's tool, a tucker, and he begins to ramble on about his dad and his childhood. Batman uses the tool to lift the part of the floor up, and then finally we see Riddler's plan, right? So, it took Martinez telling Batman what that tool was in order for him to finally find out what Riddler was doing. Most of the movie, Riddler was one step ahead of Batman. He was even making him expose the corruption of Gotham for him. Riddler is also an orphan, so he tells Batman in the interrogation scene that, I thought we were working together. He feels close to Batman. One, why does he feel so close to Batman in the first place? He's just a guy in the mask, unless he knows who's under the mask, right? Two, when Batman tells Riddler that he's crazy and delusional for thinking that they're working together, Riddler is emotionally crushed, like he can't handle it. Like he starts, throwing a tantrum because he thinks that they're so much the same. Like, why else would he think that? And back to the first murder weapon. What would a rich orphan who grew up in a mansion his entire life, with everything done for him, what would he know about a carpenter's tool? Nothing. Riddler set up this entire scheme for Batman to follow, so why would he use a weapon that he thinks that he would get caught so easily with, unless he knows who's behind the mask? And I think this entire plot twist was a reference to the Hush comic where Riddler finds out the identity of Batman, but he ends up keeping the secret to himself. The Riddler in the Hush comic, he's more so threatened into not spilling the beans on who Batman is, as opposed to Matt Reeves' version. However, both Riddlers don't expose who Batman really is.